Welcome back to Module 2, The Art of Selfishness. Now, before we go on, you know what to do. Print out the worksheet so you can follow along, take notes, and get out all of your inspirations. Here we go. Module 2, Lesson 2, Learn to Love Yourself Again, because you are way cooler than you may think that you are. I have a theory that you're actually a whole lot cooler than any character you're ever going to play. And if you learn to just bring yourself to each audition opportunity, I think you'll find a lot of joy in it. We'll talk a little bit more about that later too. What you'll discover, you are enough, and you'll stop trying to figure out what they want. You have got to learn that you are enough, and you have to stop trying to figure out what the casting directors want, because they don't know what the F they want anyway. The last role I went in for was for a man who was a lieutenant in the military. The casting directors were thinking outside the box, and they called in 2 women from my market that they thought might be a great alternative choice to give to the producers. I'm grateful for the opportunity, and I'm excited that people are thinking outside of the box. And as a result, Clint Eastwood now knows that I exist. I didn't get the role, but I think that is so super cool. And if I'd walked into the room with the energy of trying to figure this out, or that doesn't make sense why I'm here to play a man, no friggin' way would I have been able to take direction and been able to listen and execute the scene. So I didn't judge the experience, I was just grateful for it. Learn to be you. You are enough. Many casting directors will tell you that's one of the best ways for them to figure out where to fit you into their projects. Most co-star and supporting opportunities may not really require much acting, so when you know yourself, then they will too. And you'll be relaxed, you'll be confident, and you won't overthink your audition work. I really believe that's a peaceful place to be in your career, and I can honestly say that that is where I am from having done this work. Now, that doesn't mean I'm booking everything I go out for, but I have definitely had an increase in my auditions. And my work is just better because I'm relaxed, I'm actually having fun now, and I'm just trusting my instincts and my preparation. Another way of learning to love yourself and letting the outcome go is to truly understand the communities that you fit into and those that you don't. I do not belong on Vampire Diaries, but I do belong on Ozark. I do not belong on the haves and the have-nots, but I definitely belong on Lodge 49. This has a lot to do with your physical look, but it also has to do with your personality and your essences, meaning the different sides of you. Understanding, too, that you don't need every casting director to like you, that will take a huge burden off of your shoulders. I've essentially got one casting director to this point who is building my career. Stop trying to play to all the casting directors in your market. Rather, figure out who cast the projects you're right for and build your relationships with them. It makes things so much simpler, and you won't feel so spread out and unfocused in your work. If you really want to find out what they're thinking, though, I encourage you to read for them at callbacks, maybe intern for them in their offices. I've done both, and I can tell you it is the best education you will ever get. Go to lunches, find those free workshops that we talked about a few lessons ago, or even ask your agent for feedback from time to time. Now, they won't always be able to get it, but that is always an option. Your agent is your teammate, you know. So figure out what shows you're right for. Find out who cast them. If you're not getting in for reads, then talk to your agent. Many times we can get into a place of blaming our agents for our lack of success when sometimes just a simple conversation could help clarify your goals and give both of you a better understanding of how your agent works for you. Let's switch gears for a second. Because part of this idea of being yourself and being comfortable with yourself and knowing yourself, it starts with you liking yourself. But not only liking yourself, truly loving yourself. This is hard. You've been taught to be hard on yourself and to work hard for things and to be competitive, and this godforsaken society teaches us to look at magazines and now social media platforms chock full of airbrushed photos and false representations of people's lives because they're insecure and they want everyone to think they're happy, so they put up a bunch of photos of them being happy. Yeah. I obviously have a very strong opinion about this. because I've seen what it's done to people's lives. So stop looking at everyone else's lives and their photos and their posts. Start spending more time with you. You must love yourself before you can expect anyone else to. I just really loved this picture. It represents what I think loving yourself looks like. The ability to honor yourself all by yourself. Let the magazines go. Let the comparisons go. Start focusing on you again, what you like about you. Get in front of the mirror every morning and tell yourself what you love about you. Now, there are lots of things that I still want to improve about myself and perhaps my physical appearance, but if you can even find 2 things that you love about yourself, point them out to yourself. Don't wait for other people to compliment you or to validate you. Validate yourself. Okay, so you want me to just talk to myself in the bathroom in the morning? What does that even look like? Well, I love the color of my eyes, so I'll stand in front of the mirror and tell myself how beautiful my eyes are. I say, I'm proud of you for continuing to pursue this career after years of constant rejection. Have you ever stood in front of a mirror and said, I'm proud of you? Think about it. If you walk into the audition room with negative thoughts about yourself, what kind of energy do you think you're projecting? But if you are a very negative, self-sabotaging person, then this will take time to learn to love yourself again. It's taken a lifetime to become a negative, self-deprecating person, so it may take a while to retrain your brain. And in order for this to really work, you've got to do this alone. It's the only way you're going to really get to know yourself. You can't do this with your partner standing next to you at the bathroom sink. This is the art of selfishness. You have to begin to make your life changes a priority for yourself, or this is never going to work. And if you do have a partner, try not to push this work on them. Instead, just be an example of change to them over time. Human beings learn through emotion and experience, but not through words. With consistent action, though, you can change the way that you think about yourself, your career, your relationships, your future, and everything. This work has literally gotten me out of the darkest places of my life. I mentioned a bit about that in the last lesson. When I was in a really dark place, that's all I got back from others. It was exactly what I was putting out. And should I mention, I didn't book a single job during that time either. But what I've learned through applying these practices is that I have the power to create new belief systems and ultimately create my own life. You have the power to learn to love yourself, and when you love yourself, others will too. You have way more control over your life than you think that you do. So do the work, make it real. Talk to you in the bathroom mirror every morning. Find at least 2 things that you love about yourself and speak them out loud to yourself, by yourself. Get a journal and call it your book of gratitude. Write 5 things every morning that you love about yourself for 1 week. You'll find after you write the things that you're grateful for, you'll begin to clean up your vibration and you'll put yourself into a state of appreciation. You'll gain more and more momentum every day, and eventually what you want will come to you because you're aligned with it. You get that? This is science. It's law of attraction. Then, post 5 things you're grateful for. I want each of us to be able to have a place to go, even if it is a virtual platform, that is a place of constant joy and upliftedness. Writing and reading positive things is just another way of changing our state of being, and thus our energetic vibration. And when that energy is lifted, the people around us are lifted. Our experiences are lifted. And as a result, our entire life is lifted. See you in lesson 3.